Hello there, and welcome to Japanese craft beer reviews. From today, we're going to begin looking at a series of beers from a rather new Japanese craft brewer, and it's located in a rather remote location as well, and that is called Second Story Ale Works, and they are based in Tokushima, which is one of the prefectures in Shikoku, the island off to the east of Honshu, and they're actually located in Tokushima City, but way outside in the southern part of the city and kind of in a very rural part. So I guess Tokushima City must be rather large and includes kind of a lot of the rural area. They started in 2018, and they began bottling from November of 2019. Second Story, where does the name come from? Well, they started in the second floor of a garage, which is the second floor above the garage of the owner's parents' house. If you go to their website, you can see some photos of that. And they mentioned that it was not really a brewer-friendly location at first, so I'm not sure how well they have adapted, but I guess they're putting out a lot of beers now. This was founded by two people, a man named Pat Brown and his wife, who the wife is the owner, Pat is the brewer, and apparently he began homebrewing in 1993, quite a while ago, and decided to start a brewery when they returned to Japan from Bend, Oregon, which is probably the biggest little small town of brewers in the world. It's a small town in the middle of Oregon, up in kind of the mountain area, but there's so many breweries there. That's where Deschutes, for example, got his start. Bend, Oregon. I've been there once for a few days and looked around. It is a really nice town. So they returned from Bend, Oregon to Japan and began brewing. Also took a university brewing course, apparently when he was in the U.S. And they like to use local products, especially local fruit and local wheat and things like that. So there are, I can think of at least 3 breweries in Tokushima now, which have started fairly recently. The one that probably has the most well-known is Kamikatsu, and the other one is it Kamiyama? I can't remember the name. Anyway, they're not too far apart from each other in Tokushima area. So we're going to look at several beers from them, and I'm excited. I've heard a lot of good things about them. The recent issue of the Japan Beer Times will feature, or the next issue, I guess, will feature an article on this brewery written by a friend of mine. So I'm kind of looking forward to these beers. Okay. And here we go with another beer from Second Story Ale Works in Tokushima. This one is called Second Story Ale Works Half Brother Number 1, and this is a hazy pale ale, 6%, and on Rate Beer this one has only one rating at 3.6 out of 5. On Untappd there are only 6 ratings so far for this one, and so we have no score for that. This beer is, as they say on their website, is kind of an attempt to combine beer and wine ingredients. It is made with champagne yeast, and so that should be interesting to see here. So it has German malt, hops, and starch, and the yeast is champagne yeast. So 6%. I don't have international bittering units for this one. It is number 1, so I guess it's their first attempt at this, and the number 1 implies, I guess, that they will be trying this again, seeing on how they feel about the first iteration of it, and then they probably will make it again. And I don't exactly know about the name Half Brother, but I assume it's the half beer and half wine element with the champagne yeast. Let's give this one a go. This is interesting. Just the concept is interesting. A lot of breweries are doing things with grapes in the United States, especially, and in Europe. People are, putting wine elements into beer with varying degrees of success. So it's kind of an interesting new idea. Okay, so what do we have here? This is fairly hazy, kind of almost pastel, dark pastel yellow, half a finger of fairly creamy white head. In the light, we see it sort of flattens out to brightness, and that's it. And all right, let's try the nose. Okay, we get something like esters, definitely. Overripe stone fruit. No, this is very interesting, very unusual. It has kind of Belgian tint to it, I think, with the esters coming up. And I assume that's something from the champagne yeast. The champagne yeast is well known for, producing champagne, and can go at a pretty high level of alcohol and keep on going. But that's not what they're using it for here. Very interesting, unusual nose. Lightly floral, fruity with esters. Yeah, I don't think I've smelled something quite like this. It's quite new. Okay, flavor. Again, I get a similar sense of almost like a Belgian IPA or something. This is a hazy pale ale. I guess a Belgian influenced pale ale, perhaps. Very fruity. The yeast definitely produces a nice kind of tart sweetness, kind of pumping up in mid-palate. Unusual. There's a hit of bitterness, kind of stream of bitterness down the middle of the throat, palate, and down from mid-palate on. Lingers a bit. There are some bitter tracks. Basically, the closest I've had to this would be a Belgian IPA, but it is a pale ale, so it's not quite as bitter. It doesn't quite have the big punch, hoppy punch of a Belgian IPA, but I guess Belgian pale ale. So and the champagne yeast, I'm not sure if it's what connection it would have to a Belgian style of beer. Maybe none. Maybe this is the first. So anyway, interesting. So this is a very interesting brewery called Second Story Ale Works. They're doing lots of unusual things with their beers and giving them unusual names as well. So check them out on their website, Second Story Ale Works in Tokushima Prefecture in Japan. And if you're in Japan, you may find them on tap somewhere. If not, go on their website and you can buy it directly from them. Okay, well that's it for today. Hope you're doing well. And please do subscribe to the channel and leave me a comment. Okay, I'd love to hear from you, especially if you've had this beer. Tell me what you think, okay? All right, bye-bye.